Folks, this is Rose from In Rose's Garden, and today we are going to work on a leather necklace with some 2mm leather and this wonderful raven skull and beads from our wild mushroom SoftFlex design challenge kit. Now there's not a lot of beads in this, but they are definitely from the kit, and this is going to be a really cool necklace. So let's turn down and we'll get started. I'm going to cut about 19-20 inches of our leather. So let's get 12. Whoops, don't lose our beads. And there's 20. I'm going to cut it actually about right here, because once we put our hardware on, it is then going to become more like 20 inches. So let's put our leather aside, and then we're going to get started putting this together. Now from the kit, we have gotten these are brown ceramic beads and these 2 melon beads that were in the Jesse James bead mix. So this is going to be really simple. All we're going to do is we're going to string these with brown bead and then a large hole crystal spacer. And this is what one side is going to look like. So then we'll just take the other side. The raven skull has some good size holes, so we'll just push it through. And then we'll feed these beads on exactly the same way as we did on the other side. So quite simple, not much to it. So there we go. There's our basic necklace. Ta-da! Isn't that cool? So now what we need to do is we need to get some cord ends, and we will and a jump ring and a lobster claw. Also, we'll need 2 large crimps to seal this off here so that the beads can't wiggle all over the place. Okay, I've got what we need to finish this off. We've got some crimp ends which fit on just on the ends, like it's got to go on here. Come on, baby, go on. And there it is. So they just go over the ends like that. Now there's 2 things to do with these. That one went on easier than the other. You want to put a dab of Loctite super glue in these. So what I'm going to do is I usually do it from the bottom and then put the leather in, but because these were pretty tight, what I'm going to do is pull them up just a hair's breadth here. And then we're going to drop the super glue right at the top up here, and then we'll push this up again till it gets this glue, and then we'll pull it down so that it sort of works it down into our little spot there. Then we're going to take our chain nose pliers, and there's a little band there in the middle. I don't know if you can see it. And then we're going to squish, and then we're going to turn it over and squish again. This will hold that in place pretty well. Now we're going to do the same here on this one. Just going to pull the leather up just a bit. Now this side seems to be a little looser, so we could have started from the bottom with it. But we just put the glue right there at the tip. Then you take and push your leather up and then bring it back down, up and bring it down, so you sort of bring that glue with you to down here. Once you've got it sort of where you want it, then of course you want to take your pliers again and go over that middle bar. Turn and do it again. Now we're going to let these dry while we get the crimp covers on. And why we're doing the crimp covers is these crimp covers will hold our leather from wiggling around too much. So I'm going to get my flat nose pliers. I prefer the flat nose when I'm using these. And we're going to grab this like so. And then, since I've more or less got it in place, I'm just going to pop this down over it right here. Now it didn't want to go, so I have to get it to go all the way on. There we go. And we do want to verify that we're in about the right spot here before we close it. And as you can see, it could go down just a hair's breadth, but not a whole bunch. We'll just push it down that little bit. And then we'll take our pliers and we'll close this. So just squish it. Now I've got it halfway squished, but I want to see where we're at. So did that just move, or did the beads just move? I guess it was just the beads. We go here, and here, and then we're going to push them together right here and form that bead there. Now this goes up here, and we'll see if we're still on track for evenness. I hope I am, because I put the ends on before I did these. We are, so we're going to now push this one, now that we've got our beads out in place, over the wire there, and it's over fine. Roll this around a little bit so that the crease will be more in the back than here in the front, and then we'll squish this one. So now that that's done, the last thing we need to do is to put on our connector pieces here. And then our necklace will be finished. So let's just grab our pliers and open this jump ring up. Go through this one, or one or the other. Just grab whichever one you prefer. Go through our, and then our jump ring, our lobster claw. Now I don't recall if I tested this lobster claw, so before I call it good, I will test it. Come on, go through. There we go. Because your lobster claws are not always perfect. Sometimes they are broken, because what's in there is just a spring to hold it together. So there we go. Now we'll get the other. And put it on. Now, if you wanted to, you could also put an extender chain on right here, so if somebody wanted longer. But as it is right now, our raven skull necklace is finished. There she is. And we used our wild mushroom beads to make it. There we are. One simple but really cool necklace using a raven skull, leather, 2mm leather, some crystal rondelles, all those from my stash, but these beautiful 6 beads here, the 4 brown ceramics and the 2 melon beads, were out of our SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit Wild Mushroom. Isn't that cool looking? It is a really nice piece. So very simple to make, very easy, doesn't take much time, but oh, so cool looking. So I hope you enjoyed making this with me. We'll talk to you later. This has been Rose from In Rose's Garden, and again, we have used beads from my stash. Well, no, none of the beads are from my stash, just the spacers. The beads were all from SoftFlex Design Challenge Kit Wild Mushroom. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.